Gladiators. Should be a good one because the last one, BetBoom destroyed Gaimin. I don't expect that to happen, but the panel doesn't like their lineup. Sinner, do you agree?
I think, so we were talking about the Mage Slayer nerf, right, in the previous game. You asked for a bold prediction about Pudge.
I didn't say about Pudge.
Let's try again. You asked for a bold prediction, and I was like, we're going to see Pudge because Mage Slayer got nerfed. This is a hero that I think was more likely to happen, which is the Leshrac coming out as a core.
Okay.
I think BetBoom in this game only really... Oh, hang on. Ace might just... He is just on an island here.
He is very dead. Who gets the first blood? It is GPK in the mid lane. That is worst case scenario for Gaimin, and the deny of the bounty to add insult to injury.
So 2-1 on the bounty runes, but the first blood for BetBoom, easily a win for them, especially considering it went to GPK's Windranger here. Going to have a great time in lane against the Leshrac already. I think this matchup, we haven't really seen it so much lately because Lesh Core hasn't been played, mainly because of the Mage Slayer. On BetBoom's side, you're probably going to see it be bought by the starter, as the panel said. I think Windranger in this game may be likely to just get a fast defusal. I think some of the matchups here are really, really good for that item. And I want to talk a little bit more about the order in which things happened in the draft as well, actually. So the Windranger comes out, and then Sven gets picked after, which is obviously a very interesting match where Sven gets really good against Windranger when he gets Ags, but until he has Ags, I actually think it's a pretty bad matchup for the Sven. So we're going to have these like phases in the game where Windranger will be good against Sven, then it will go back the other way, and then eventually if Windranger gets big enough, I think she again overtakes that matchup with just raw itemization and having a way of blocking Stormhammer. And I guess we don't need to talk too much about the Enigma 5. It's Toronto, Tokyo. He's going to get some farm. He'll eventually get big items, and there's no counter to Black Hole in this game.
Yep, that's right.
You have Disruption. We can save one guy, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall, this Leshrac needs to impress me in this game to justify being an overall first pick in a new patch where Mage Slayer got nerfed. This will be a great testing bed to see how good it is.
They're trying to find their Pangolier.
I guess so.
If you can get away with first picking a hero and win, which the panel kind of talked about, and you force the other team to ban it, it just gives you so many advantages, theoretically.
Yeah,
but now people are banning Pango, and it's not going so well. So.
I just don't think Leshrac is it, though. I think Leshrac is really strong together with Io, especially for this team. Gaimin Gladiators are the best team in the world at playing that pairing. But
yeah, you'd think you'd want like a Io or a Pugna even, something like a Lion. I mean, Lion was probably banned. Something that's a battery.
And I think if you want Io Lesh, you could get them in a later phase together, right? It's not like these heroes are really getting banned much, so... It surprises me even more that they went for the Lesh opener when they could have picked...
Oh! Blast off into the bash. Doraccio, Dunzo to Miro's right click.
Yep.
Save, of course. This is his favorite hero. The techies. I think there might not be a better techies in the world, actually. Played it a lot. But yeah, it is interesting that the draft ended up being a last pick support, position 5, which Jenkins talked about. It is a good Shadow Demon game, but I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like most teams, even if you're going to get a really good position 5 pick, that means you're early picking like these cores, like the Lesh, for example.
Yeah.
That can get hard countered.
And I think a lot of the time when it comes to last picking supports, like the times in the past that we've been like, okay, this last pick support was genius, is where it truly, you know, kind of carried the game almost from a support position. You know, an unexpected last pick Chen in a patch where Chen isn't popular. It obviously is now, so it's not a great example for this version, but there's been phases. Okay, Toronto is very dead here. Yes. Nice catch there from Tofu. Or it's like, okay, the enemy team just doesn't have anything against the tempo that this hero offers, so they're just going to get run over, or, you know, something like that, where you just throw a curveball or an amazing Winter Wyvern pick or something. But the Shadow Demon is a little bit special in that regard, because yes, the utility here is really good, but I'm just not getting that, like, game-winning vibe from it. You can imagine what it can do, but how to say, the conditions that need to be met for it to have that level of impact is a lot less obvious.
I mean, would you say that being able to, like, first picking the Lesh, more pressure is put on your other cores to maybe overperform, potentially?
Yeah, I would agree with that, especially because Leshrac is such a one-dimensional hero. You can't be, like, super creative and be like, oh, okay, I'm hard countered by these picks, so I'm just going to go a different item build. Like, what can you do, really, right? Yeah. Like, the hero has to run into your face and do damage. It's all it does. So You can't go like utility Lesh or go auras or something. There's no alternative path. The main thing you can do is you can choose your skill build differently. Like, is it an Edict game? Is it a play at range early game with stun plus Lightning Storm? But that's pretty much it. Like, you generally need roughly the same items. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a tough Leshrac game. Windranger eats you a lot of the time. Slardar is actually a pretty tough matchup too, because you really rely on being able to have staying power, and the minus armor just shreds you. There's a lot of burst from the support of techies, which can also be a problem. I don't know. I'm looking to be impressed by Quinn here. I know he's probably the best player in the world on the hero, but I don't think his conditions are that great.
Yeah. We'll see if they're able to surprise you based on your predictions.
Oh yeah,
Gaimin will win handily this game.
Quinn's probably going to go 20-0 now.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Well, now I said it, so no, he won't.
It's metagaming yourself now, I feel like.
I'm actually playing rock, paper, scissors with myself in prediction.
Yeah, it feels like that is the case, and you're losing no matter what.
Yeah, that's a pretty rigged game.
Ace will be playing the Razor. Hero that has... I feel like Falcons are the main team that's playing this hero, because they can kind of swap it between Malrine and Amar. But what do you think of Razor in this patch? Or forget about the patch, this game.
I think it's decent. I think the lane itself is very straightforward. I think playing against Morphling is very easy, especially with the Enigma pairing and considering the support matchup you have in the Tiny, who cleaves the Eidolons very well. So I think his laning phase will be very good. As far as the matchups later in the game, I don't really know how sold I am. But I mean, if Falcons can first pick this hero and win tournaments, right, then there's probably just something about this hero that I don't fully understand and appreciate. But this doesn't strike me as like, wow, what a great Razor game. You're going to link the enemy carry and just ruin his fight, because Morphling wasn't picked at the time and is one of the better ones against Razor. And the Slardar he's an offlaner. He's going to, depending on how he itemizes, Link can be good against him, but it won't necessarily be the end-all, be-all of it, because arguably Slardar doesn't need to do that much damage this game. He needs to catch someone, he needs to put Amp on them, ideally get a Mage Slayer and hit the Lesh one time, and then Morphling and Windranger are going to kill them with the
We've been seeing Mage Slayer. We're going to see a blast off onto 2. TPs are coming in, though. Zeracho pops the War Crisis. It's going to be more than okay. Tofu now, 4 stacks of Shadow Poison on Miero. Make it 5. There's the Ava. Zeracho on the other side now, trying to finish the job on this Slardar, but he is so tanky.
Oh, this is
Shadow
bad.
Poison did a lot of damage, but it's not enough for the kill. As GPK coming in with the Focus Fire. Toronto, Tokyo, nice blocking as well. That's going to lead to a very valuable kill for BetBoom. Disruption onto Miero, but Celery will end up dying one way or another. Blood Grenade slowing him to a crawl, and now Tofu has to try to get out. Nice Avalanche, but he's going to be slowed down with that sticky bomb. And one more blast off for the road, and Toronto, Tokyo will take that kill. So a 3-for-0 for BetBoom.
Okay, let's recap what just happened. One team engaged 2v2. The TP support from the enemy position 4 comes in, and then you lose the fight 3-0. That is really rough times for Gaimin. They spent so many resources on this, and sure, Windranger rotates and Lesh doesn't, so there's a little bit of space given in the mid lane, but easily a mega BetBoom favored exchange here. And it is concerning because you gotta consider, if Shadow Demon and Tiny combine their heroes to a move like this and fail, they're gonna get out-leveled badly. So now even with the Wisdom Rune and everything, they're horribly far behind the enemy supports, who are now just starting to take over. As another kill here, going the way of save this time on the techies.
Will lead to Quinn getting the Invis Rune top though, so consolation prize for Gaimin, but Miero.
Alright, this would be a big
from
one.
Quinn. Split Earth is there. Miero has the sprint, but not fast enough. Quinn will get credit for that one. A much needed kill for him.
Yeah.
You can see in terms of net worth, I mean, coming out of the laning stage, basically 400 behind GPK on that Windrunner. So could have been worse for Quinn. I think it did pretty respectable, all things considered.
The bigger concern is probably the guy on your screens right now, right? Like Zeracho being 6th on net worth as Sven here against the lane matchup that he had is not the best. I'm not going to say Slardar is an easy matchup for Sven, but I think Sven in this lane is probably expected to do a little bit better than this. And that rotation obviously hurt him badly. They were trying to really bring him into the game, and then he just ended up having an even worse exchange than if they've done nothing. So now he's going to be in the jungle and playing catch-up, and as the panel talked about, with the pairings of cores that Gaimin Gladiators have, what remains to be seen here is whether they can put any sort of pressure on the map while Sven is farming up. A lot of the time when you play Sven, you know, this guy's just AFK, 20 minutes. He's just getting big, and the other 4 heroes together get the job done. It feels very high risk to do that with Lesh. If it fails once or twice...
might actually be a really early team fight.
Nice
blast off just in time for save. Saves himself in this case.
Yep.
And wasted rotation from Gaimin. But they do defend the tier 1 technically. We got top net worth right now for GPK on the Windrunner, and just going to assume that he is going for the Maelstrom eventually. We'll be going for the Dragonlance first.
Dragonlance first. So I was thinking about Diffusal as a good choice this game. I still think it could be a really interesting path to take, but just given the pace these games play and how late game centric the strategies have been, maybe you're right, maybe it's just the Maelstrom. Then the question is, why don't you buy that first before the Dragonlance? I mean, obviously you're universal heroes, the Dragonlance feels great. It is a very good item.
Oh, Nightfall's already used his waveform. Is attribute shifting splitter that's not going to connect. Do they have the damage? Nice blocking from Duraccio. Nightfall still relatively healthy. Celery though, one more disruption, and now they can fully surround and bring down the Morphling. It takes all 5 for Gaimin to do so.
5 heroes in 30 seconds. But they get him, and they make this rotation at a very crucial point. They have the siege creep top, so they will be looking to take the tower, but don't think they were expecting this to take this long. With how slow that play was, their mid tower is in jeopardy now as well, and this is not really a very good trade in my opinion. If you end up trading 1-for-1 towers here, the mid tower, very important. You've already lost your bottom tier 1 as well, considering that's one of the benefits of this 5 Enigma, is when things go well, can offer some map pressure. They will defend mid, but it's taken some hefty damage here. Maybe not all too bad for Gaimin there. It was big to find the morph kill for sure and slow him down a little bit, because he was starting to get a very free time after a bit of a slow start.
Yep, Quinn here to save the day, shadowed by 2 supports. GPK is not stopping with help of the Eidolons to aggro this tower. They will get the tower one way or another. It'll likely just be a deny though, but still positional advantage
Wonder if they're not just straight up denying it here. Okay,
they're thinking about it. One hit away.
Oh, they want to let the Kobold do it. Oh, come on.
The Kobold got a +6 damage buff.
No, it was +3.
Sorry,
read the
3.
logs.
Yeah, my bad. I just love the Kobolds so much.
They should have probably.
I think about them every day.
They're still not that great at killing the camps, to be honest, or the creep waves. So maybe they needed more than 3.
Quinn able to clean up nice Eidolons here. Has 4 in Diabolic Edict, so I'm going to put that to use on this mid tower relatively shortly. And we see the Cobalt Courier combination, unstoppable. Quinn going to finish off a little stack here in the Ancients.
Yeah. Who was the beneficiary of that stack? Who did the stacking, actually? Probably the Shadow Demon. It is a bit important, though, because if it is Tiny getting some of these stacks off, you can look at a somewhat timely dagger. But yeah, it was mainly SD and Lesh himself. So.
Disruption. Okay, Black Hole comes out from Toronto, Tokyo. The Eidolon's doing quite a bit of damage. He's getting slowed to a crawl, and here comes GPK with a focus fire on the Queen. He's getting the backtrack now that the Avalanche was thrown out. The high ground advantage for Gaimin, and I think BetBoom will likely just fall away. So no kills in the end with the Black Hole being expended.
But you do see the danger there for Quinn, right? It's like GPK is on top of him with focus fire for 3 seconds, and you actually just full-on have to disengage entirely as Lesh. This hero needs to be able to stand its ground, and with this itemization from Quinn right now, he just can't. He has no armor, he has no health. So that's not to say that going Kaya is the wrong path. It just means that the timing that your hero has confidence to go in is going to be delayed. I don't know if there was an alternative. Like, what could you buy? Blade Mail first or something so Windranger can't do that to you? I don't know. It also sounds a bit awkward, but yeah, definitely going to be a delayed online Lesh, so to speak. Sometimes when he's playing with IO, he's crushing the map at this point, right? But right now, not an option. So you will have to go toward that later portion, and then it's really a matter of how much can you withstand this raw single-target physical that
14-minute rune will be bottom. It's Arcane, which would be great for Quinn, but it looks like it'll just be denied by GPK.
nice call from here there to deny that instead of trying to take it. Felt like this was definitely coming with the smoke down there. Scan was successful, and you know, it was. They were either going to head down to that south rune or they were going to head into the jungle, and the rune was way more likely in that circumstance.
GPK, by the way, finished the Dragonlance and is going straight for BKB, so holding off on the damage aspect.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I mean, you need BKB in this game for sure. You're looking at a lot of different stuns. But
by the way, what do you think of the BKB buffs?
Yeah, that one was a bit interesting. I don't know if that was necessary, so to say. I'm not really too surprised that the item got a little bit of love, but I feel like it was still being purchased a good amount and being very effective.
Yeah, I thought it was in a good spot, honestly.
But
Valve has access to many stats that we do not.
They do. That is why certain heroes are not in pro Dota for 5 years at a time.
I mean, I will say there were a couple of team fights at the BetBoom tournament where a Luna would just destroy somebody from full to zero with BKB on, and maybe that had something to
Maybe.
Could have been that. Quinn, Most of Haze upon him. Toronto Tokyo shadowing, does not have the black hole quite yet. Dyrachyo, though, he's going to get stunned. Focus fires there from GPK. Shackle into the bash. Down goes the Sven instead of the mid laner. Quinn does get away.
I am very surprised Dyrachyo chose to engage there. When Slardar is posturing that offensively onto your Lesh and running at you with Corrosive Haze, he has backup. And Dyrachyo just went in and died for him effectively. I think they could have both lived if they just stunned and ran away. But
Avalanche trying to get that rune was GPK. The Shackle's not going to hit. Yep, nice toss back into the Split Earth. Quinn gets some revenge. The Windrunner does fall.
Looks to be non-stop action. They're looking for Ace here.
Yep, waveform. I don't think that actually fully connected, but he's going to get blast off with a couple of mines being placed, not able to kill them. Nice pick off from Save and company. Quinn trying to keep Nightfall at bay, but we'll be able to waveform away.
Yeah, this is actually extra bad with Lesh TPing up here and expending 2/3 of his mana pool. Now he's a bit more vulnerable, and he might actually be the next target.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage from Miera. You can see Toronto, Tokyo backstabbing. He's got a good opportunity to double Black Hole, but doesn't even need it, in fact, as the rest of BetBoom clear away any member of Gaimin standing in their way. Now the Tier 1 tower looks to be next. BetBoom now with a 2K lead.
I think this was a great example of what the panel was talking about with Shadow Demon. You're going to save someone, and then what, right? Like, we still have this problem for Gaimin Gladiators of the overwhelming single target damage. You're just delaying the inevitable here. You could see Celery was pump faking the disruption. He wants to use it at the right time. The problem is there is no right time. Like, even if they TP in the remaining heroes, the moment Leshrac gets jumped on, he's just dead. Like, you can't protect him with this lineup right now. He needs to be able to protect himself. But you need a lot of net worth on this hero before you can accomplish that against this heavy of a single target physical output. Now this will be Aegis. Interesting choice they put on the Slardar here.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Very much expecting that to go on the Morph and just play aggressive in the fights. But when you think about it, I guess Nightfall feels very safe. Like he won't need a second life, and now Miero can play hyper aggressive and really set them up for success.
Yeah, and GPK will have a BKB soon.
Again, he's going to show here. Okay, I actually thought they were going to be ready to make the move.
Thanks for trying to hype that up.
It was exciting to me. That's good enough. At the end of the day, Shannon, we are primarily casting for ourselves.
That's true. That is actually true. That is how I approach every day of my life. For me, very narcissistic behavior.
You need that hourglass.
Well, it's a minute glass, technically. Make sure you don't ramble too much.
That is true.
An early Blink Dagger for Nightfall. Or for Dyrachyo, I should say.
Yeah.
Wants to get involved pretty early. I mean, typically you'll see, I feel like, BKB, Ags.
Yeah, because it's like, part of me really likes the dagger because I think it shows that Gaimin Gladiators understand that the way to take fights right now is combining heroes and just getting in there and bursting people and not letting them isolate their Lesh. But at the same time, it also feels very high risk in that, are you going to go dagger and Ags? Because you want the Ags against Windranger, right? If you have dagger and Ags, where's your damage?
Right.
So, oh, he sold it again. Okay.
Okay, classic.
Okay. Yeah, maybe he came to the same conclusion. Maybe his teammates saw it, he bought dagger, and they're like, Dyrachyo, what the fuck are you doing? Sell your dagger.
Yeah, well,
I don't know, I mean...
it worked out last game for BetBoom when they went the early daggers instead of damage.
Yeah, but they didn't do it on their Sven.
No,
right?
that's true.
So,
Arrow,
yeah.
initiation, Tofu is donezo. Avalanche, toss. Yep, see, told you. Easy pick off.
The way you commented that was exactly how you imagined that kill was going to end. Tossing a creep on him was obvious from the first moment they engaged.
That's right.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And Miro, he's going to run right into Quinn. There's the crush initiation. Sticky bombs there. Disruption from Celery. But the blast off to keep him in place. The mines as well. But actually being denied. Nicely done. That'll actually save Quinn's life.
Yep. The Shadow Demon Shard also saving him there. Very, very important to remove that Corrosive Haze onto the Lesh with the Demonic Cleanse. There's something about that name that's just... Isn't that kind of weird?
Why?
That combination of words. Demonic Cleanse. It's not...
Yeah, but
something is demonic, it's not cleansing.
Yeah, I mean, for a demon it is.
And he's not using it on himself, he's using it on Lesh.
Yeah, well, to some people, goats are demons.
Alright. I think we should get the fire Pokemon thing back on Cinder Brew. Like, this spell has bonus effects when you're playing with demons or goats.
That was one of the worst eras of Dota.
Yeah, it was also only 3 days long. So.
That was really bad.
I don't know if you can call that an error or someone's fever dream.
That was scarring.
It was a choice.
Radiant.
All right, big wrap around.
Yeah, using the... Look at these mines.
Yeah.
Gaimin cannot enter that area. Of course, they don't know that. This is where the Blink Daggers can get a little scary. He did end up going to the Blink Dagger, by the way.
He bought it again.
Yeah, Dyrachyo uses that God Strength to delete an illusion and the Tier 1 tower. Now they're going to get backstabbed by BetBoom. You're looking for the opening. Oh, the crush could be there. It's only going to be on one, but it is. Oh, into a beautiful Shackle Shot, but the disruption saving the life so far of Ace, but he has just been way too deep. Focus Fire's there to finish him off. The Aegis already consumed. A save was taking some right clicks from Dyrachyo, but now the focus is on Dyrachyo himself. Tofu going in. There's the black hole onto 2. The perfect timing when the Tiny blinked in. That's going to lead to 3 down for Gaimin. Quinn gets bashed in the middle of his TP into the blast off. Down goes another member. 4 for nothing. And BetBoom crushing Gaimin again.
Yeah, just outplayed, right? What else is there to say? They get illusion baited on the Stormhammer, so Sven burns the entire initiation on nothing. They find a beautiful 2-hero shackle. This is the best possible disruption, by the way. I don't think Celery could have played this fight any better. They mant off the Corrosive Haze, but he's already too low, so again, same problem. You save the hero, but what's going to happen next? And then Dyrachyo on his secondary engage, after the Windranger illusion, he jumps techies, doesn't kill him.
Bad timing.
And then that's honestly just kind of unlucky.
It was very unlucky.
If Tofu waited half a second longer, he would have been able to cancel this black hole, but yeah, that was 1,000 yards there, if I may say so.
Arrow very deep. Demonic Purge upon him. No cleanse, because that's for allies only.
Why was that? Why was he there?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they couldn't communicate, so he didn't realize that his team had already left.
No, his Discord wasn't working, so he tabbed to fix it while he was running into the enemy team.
Okay, that makes sense.
That must be it.
Yep.
There's no other reason he would be here alone.
Absolutely not.
So that's got to be it.
Okay, back to the demonic cleanse discussion.
Oh, man.
Can we milk that one? There we go. That's a nice tooltip. I mean, what else are you going to call it? If you're going to call it cleanse, like, it can't be too positive because it is a demon that's applying it. Like, a demon can cleanse someone, I feel like. Like, it could have positive effects if it wants to. Just usually they don't because they're a demon. Split Earth, on to save. We'll blast off to safety.
Oh, that's close. He had Greaves on cooldown.
He might still be spotted. Tofu. TP.
Oh,
yep.
nice.
Avalanche.
Nice find.
Did he even realize that he canceled it, though? Yes. So you don't think a demon can do good things? You can be a demon.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this combination of words sounds weird. demonic cleanse.
Yeah, it's demonic because the person casting it is a demon.
You don't have to explain.
It's demonic.
I get it.
It could be demonic handshake. Like, it should just be a regular handshake.
Yeah, that would also sound pretty weird, wouldn't it?
You know, we need an actual handshake spell that's not just the regular high-fiving. That's the next thing for Valve to enter into the game. As Tormi is taken, Toronto Tokyo will get his shard for the Enigma. And now he has a blink, so...
Yeah.
Of course, he'll need a little bit more to be able to ensure that his black holes are uninterrupted, which is the BKB. That'll be the next item.
Man,
not that he's had any issues.
So farmed.
No.
He almost has the combined net worth of the 2 enemy supports. Okay, maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. Let's. All right, it's not that bad, but
Conda for Nightfall.
Quite far ahead.
One of the few heroes that can buy it
Yep.
appropriately.
It got buffed this patch, didn't it?
Yeah, it does more base damage.
So
I think this hero and Luna are the two that have been spammed at competitive play for Conda purchases, and then of course in pubs, literally every hero, including the ones that don't have a single target spell.
and of course every Morphling player is so happy to have the new E-Blade that they very unfortunately had to live without for 1 year. Now they get their new E-Blade that's cheaper and has a crit. So
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know, is it cheaper? No, it costs the same, I guess. Yep. So it's the base spell damage that's increased by 50. That's quite
They're
meaningful.
looking to open things up. Nice blink from Doraccio to keep himself alive. Disruption.
Oh, shackle shot.
Nice shackle, though, as Toronto Tokyo looking for the opening, but he cannot. He's going to get healed on the backside, but we can see the Sven has already died. No black hole to come from Toronto Tokyo, but it is a core for support as the rest of Gaimin now on the run. Ace trying to run away, but the last adaptive strike for Nightfall was there. They take out Quinn as well, and it's just the supports for Gaimin to get away, and I don't think BetBoom gives a shit.
I hope we get to, if we get a replay of that fight, try to look at Quinn in these fights, like what he can, specifically what he can't do as Lesh. Like, it's kind of pitiful to watch it. Like, no, it's not like something personal against him, like he's playing terribly. It goes to show the weakness of the hero in this game state. The fight starts and he casts his spells and he runs away because he can't go in. He can't stand his ground at all against these heroes. They're just bullying him out of the fight immediately. He has no armor. He has blood.
Why do you hate him so much?
He has Bloodstone, Kaya, and a point booster. I will question the point booster purchase. I think this has to be a plate mail in this game, personally. I think you have to either go that or Shiva or something. Like, you need to protect yourself.
Yeah, but
not go
nihilism is cool.
Yeah, when you get there.
It's really cool. Imagine being nihilistic with a demonic cleanse on you.
I mean, then the other...
Black hole with Midnight Pulse, and a
later.
fish is there to take out Doraccio again. You can see his net worth. I mean, Sven is a hero that just has to be, like, towards the top net worth. Has to be.
Yeah.
And that's obviously not the case here. And you can see, I mean, even look at the Enigma. Look at the net worth versus the cores of Gaimin. That's crazy.
I think
Toronto
this is
Tokyo's insane.
I think this is the lowest relative net worth I've seen on a Sven this patch in a pro game to the top of the board, right? Like, even in losing game. Oh, no.
Quinn. Shackle did not hit, but the focus, he's just dead. Very, very dead. Celery is next as BetBoom playing with their food.
A lot of the time we see Svens in the top 2 even when they're losing, right? But it's just, he is so far behind. Like, it's not even remotely close. And this hero just does not play well from behind. Miero is relentless. Will not quite catch with that Force Staff, but... Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, Gaimin's lineup really had to get stuff done at the 15 to 20 minute mark with playing around their stuns and around their combos that their lineup inherently has. But once again, one of the primary problems was that their mid hero couldn't perform its function in the game. And there's nobody covering, right? If Lesh has a bad game, who's going to step up to the plate and get the job done? I don't think you have the damage. Sven has to jungle. Razor has kind of inherently the same problem, actually. He needs to be in the face of the enemy team. And, well, if Leshrac can't do it and you're on your own in there, you just become the target instead. You kind of can't like weave in and out and take turns at taking damage for each other or something. It doesn't really work that way. So yeah, for me, just strategically, this game has been extremely difficult for Gaming, and they've never really got a foot in the game.
Dire are scanning.
And now they have to fight against the Aegis and Cheese.
Yeah, I would imagine this Enigma BKB is, yeah. I mean, if BetBoom want to wait, they can get BKB in 2 minutes. And then they can just blink Black Hole the Lesh or the Sven and the fight's over. Right? Or the Razor.
Pick and choose.
Even if you disrupt the guy who's Black Hole, they come out of the Black Hole and then they die after. Because the Black Hole will outlast the disruption, and it's enough to set up the rest of their combo. You kind of have to play on that, though. I feel I think you can only use disruption for Black Hole at this point. You have to save it, and then you need to use cleanse against the corrosive haze. And I guess the ideal fight for Gaimin Gladiators is getting Razor caught. I think that's the only recipe for success that I can imagine. Is he gets jumped first, they counterplay, they get Leshrac into the fight somehow and get it done. But all they will perhaps be able to play nicely around this ward. BetBoom are aware, of course, and will not pursue. And there's no pressure on them. That's the nice thing for BetBoom, right?
The only pressure, if you want to even call it that, is the Aegis timer. You do want to use it in some capacity. But I mean, we've seen teams just farm, I guess, and control the map, which they could theoretically do.
I don't think their lineup expires. I think, if anything, it almost only gets easier because Enigma will get bigger. Your Slardar, who has largely just been a setup, will start being able to solo kill supports.
I just thought of the best Arcana for Morphling because he said expired. What if he's Milk? Like instead of what? He's just Milk. Think about how much
And then when he says, I drink your milkshake, it's actually cannibalism.
Wait, he says, I forgot he says that.
If he turns into Razor.
And he turns into Razor, he says.
Oh, Razor's in the other team.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Very important lore.
Yeah.
Sure that makes sense to somebody at Valve. Smoke from BetBoom, opening onto Tofu. He is Dunzo.
Oh, okay, I don't know if you... I haven't really heard this talked about much. What do you think about Shield Rune on Morphling?
It doesn't look like he has Shield Rune, yeah.
You max morph into strength, and then you pick it up.
Yeah.
And then you max morph down.
Oh, so you're saying it doesn't work dynamic?
He has more shield than health.
Yeah, okay. It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. That's one word for it.
I mean, Morphling has always been this, like, very abusive hero.
That's very true.
There's a few heroes in Dota that kind of fit that bill, and he's always been one. He's always been the lowest polygon hero in the game as well.
He's great at highlighting stuff that can conceptually be ridiculous, right? Because he can find ways to make it happen.
That's right. So. Ridiculous is the nature of Morphling, which is why the Arcana should be milk.
Because milk is just such a ridiculous drink.
Yeah, he can talk about lactose intolerance when he picks up the cheese. Like, just imagine the possibilities. As Nihilism is now online for Quinn.
It's good you're making your own game so you can bring all these great ideas to life.
You know what's funny? If I made a list, which I'm sure I have, of things that have gotten in the game that I have suggested, it would be very long, as you know.
Yeah,
okay?
Just they get in the game because you suggested them or despite you suggested?
I don't know.
Have you ever had an original idea in your entire life?
I don't know.
There you go.
That's true. When I owned a team, the greatest team of all time, Digital Chaos, I picked the colors of the Phoenix Suns because just have to go with the flow, you know?
Yep.
Flow, just like water, which can turn into milk. It's also liquid, so just imagine the possibility. Like, imagine how much money Valve could make off of that. Like, it could be a carton of milk. It doesn't have to be just liquid either, right? So many cosmetic ideas. As we continue on with this game, 22k lead for BetBoom. Aegis Cheese still intact. Aegis only for 45 more seconds, so they're not really going to push the envelope, it seems.
Oh, with those 2 Philosopher's Stones, they're just chilling, you know? Just raking in the gold.
That's one item I was a little surprised they didn't take out a rotation, actually.
Yeah.
I like it, though. I think it's always feels good to get.
Yeah, and it's one of those weird ones where the correlation between... Like, it might not even have the biggest win rate. I think that's why it hasn't been swapped out, because obviously... You know, the item isn't good except for the gold. So if you pick it up and you're in a bad spot in the game, it's not going to give you like, wow, nice, we got a comeback fight because I had a great neutral and that kept me alive, or you know, it's not going to offer you that. But
it feels good because if you die, you're like, oh,
yeah,
might as well continue to get extra gold.
And it's a win more item. So if you're already ahead, then
terrific.
Oh, all right. grouping up.
Yeah, Gaimin were grouping up, but I don't know what they're trying to get out of this. You can see BetBoom. I mean, the Aegis expired, so maybe they were expecting a fight, which they were kind of right about.
Yeah. They also saw the fact that they have 2 waves right outside the enemy base and nobody was counter-pushing them, right? So it's very likely that Gaimin are going for some sort of Hail Mary play, but yeah, they didn't find anything.
Yeah, instead, the lead just continues to grow for the Milkman. 25K for BetBoom. Now the Satanic is there, and yeah, Nightfall.
He's big.
Not going to get much bigger than this, honestly.
He's whole milk at this point.
Oh boy, that's the scariest of them all.
Not a bad idea for an Arcana now that you say. Start out as skim milk, and then you gain fat percentage.
When you die, you turn into cottage cheese. What do you think about that?
All right, that might be an original idea, actually. I don't think anybody has ever thought of that before.
Thank you. God, I'm so good.
You're something. Damn, I'm so unique.
Damn, I'm good. When will block of cheese be something that players strive to create?
When it gets changed.
Well, by change, you mean buffed.
What if you can combine it with Roshan's banner?
Cheesy banner. It's like melted cheese dripping off the banner. Boy, I'm really hungry, apparently.
I can, yeah.
really could use a piece of cheese right about now. As BetBoom playing this very methodically, very slow, very disciplined, which is very unlike them, but nothing will change. As Dyrachyo tiptoes back to his base, you are not allowed to leave this area.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what Gaimin Gladiators can do on their high ground, because they do have some cute plays with toss back. Like, the problem is when the push is going to come, if BetBoom are going to keep playing the map like this, they're waiting for the next Roche. And then the hero high grounding will be Morph. And you can't toss back kill him twice. And if you do toss back and pile on a hero, you're setting yourself up to get Black Hold and Techies comboed. So I think it's very difficult, but it's kind of the only angle I see is Tofu having to come up with some sort of heroic base defense play, forcing BetBoom out of position, but it might not even become relevant if this fight breaks out.
Dyrachyo, do they go the right way? They spot
the power
him
shot,
with the power shot. Yes, they find him. Can they continue to catch up, though? The chase is on, as apparently Ace is just getting destroyed on the backline. The huge team fight. And the Black Hole came out temporarily. Quinn with the Nihilism. They've already lost 3, but that's 2 buybacks now for Gaimin. As the chase, ultra kill for Nightfall. All right. Very weird fight.
I love that we were just following Sven running around trees while literally the entire world just crumbled around him.
It was very fitting for this game. Very anticlimactic in a way, as now the high ground push is coming for BetBoom.
All right.
Yep, Celery gets this disruption on the Morphling, which is a good hero to get it on, but at this stage of the game, it really doesn't matter what you do. That's one lane. Block to the bottom. Get number 2. And their lead has ballooned to an even greater amount. 37K. Trying to go for the Megas now, I would assume, as 2 members of Gaimin still dead. They have 1 buyback onto the Razor. So once he respawns, he can play with the double life. But Quinn has to be very careful. As Dyrachyo, speaking of being careful, he's spotted out. Gets off the Stormbolt with the BKB, getting slowed by the Scotty though. Blast off is not going to stun because of the BKB. He's able to get out. Meanwhile, GPK, okay. Somehow, how did he get that kill? GPK though.
He got Conda forever.
Oh, the adaptive strike was that far, wow.
Yep.
As Ace is going to get bashed up, Tofu trying to throw Quinn back into the base. He'll do so successfully, but doesn't have one for Ace now. But like I said, he does have his buyback. But this is going to be a 4v5 defense for Gaimin, as BetBoom just clowning on them right now.
Yeah.
Final item for Nightfall as the GGs come out. This was a Gaimin level shellacking, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, they just got run over. Start to finish in this game. You got to say, if you're going to be a little bit blunt about it, honestly, a bit of a disappointing